Okay, so we're looking at chords in C major. We've got C, D minor, E minor, F, G, A minor, and B diminished. We number each one of those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in that order. If we want to play a chord progression, we can remember the number for the progression. For example, if I want to play C to E minor, that's a 1-3 chord progression, for example. And that means if we're learning other keys, other scales, we can transfer that information. We can play the first and the third from that key or scale. So it's very useful to learn it that way. But because we sometimes use chords, extended chords, and there's extra numbers written in the chord voicings, and you may have seen something like a G7 or a C7, but there are other chords that can be used where they extend out and use numbers. And so there's numbers being added to the chords. And if we've got a lot of information with numbers, writing the Roman numerals down above the chords is quite useful. And it's just a really good way of writing down chord progressions and keeping it separate from the other numbers we might use in music. So here we've got 1 I, and then 2 I's for 2, 3 I's, 3, IV 4, V for 5, VI for 6, and VII for 7. So if we learn it that way and then we look at a chord progression chart, so here we've got a first, a fourth, and a fifth from the key of C. So when you look at the system here, C is 1, F is 4, V is 5. You can see they're all majors, 3 major chords. And that's really important because a lot of early rock and roll and early pop music use predominantly the major chords in their songs, and there's 3 major chords. So getting used to playing those together will help cover a lot of those style. So C, F, and G, playing those together. Obviously count 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then just keep going with that. Practice those chords in that specific order. The other progressions we have there, the Roman numerals are above them, and so memorizing what sort of chord progression it's called will mean you might even hear this by sound. You might listen to a song and think that sounds familiar, that sounds like a chord progression I've learned. And then by identifying what the chord progression is, for example, this next one is a 1, 6, 4, 5 progression, because we've got I, which is our 1, our VI, which is our 6, IV is our 4, V is our 5. So we can remember this as a 1, 6, 4, 5 progression, and it's a very popular sounding progression. A lot of ballads use this one, especially from the 60s. So we've got C chord, 2, 3, 4, A minor, 2, 3, 4, F, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, 4. And really what you should have done by now, you should have memorized all your chords in the key of C and be able to know all those shapes, so you don't have to look at any sort of charts, or you're literally just following the chord progressions. And do it with your left hand. I'm actually playing this at the moment because I'm on the microphone and I'm playing it with my left hand, but you should play this with the right, play it with the left, play them together like the previous exercise, and all you're doing is following that particular exercise. So watch that video if you haven't, and then just applying it to these chords. So if we look at the next one, C, A minor, D minor, G, and we look at the Roman numerals, we've got a 1, a 6, we've got a 2, and we've got a 5. So 1, 6, 2, and a 5. So if I get to the keyboard and play that, this is what it sounds like. So C chord, A minor, D minor, G. Okay, and when you start playing them, you will start to say, well, these sound quite familiar, and that's because they're used, and they've been used in many songs. So the idea would be just to go through each one of these chord progressions. You might even find 1 or 2 that you particularly like the sound of, and stick with that one, work with it, play with it, and see if you can get all the changes down. So let's just go through each one very quickly here now. So I'm on this one here, the third one, 1, 2, 3, the fourth one, sorry, here, which is IV, VI, IV, which is your first, fifth, sixth, and 4. So a 1, 5, 6, 4 progression. This is what you might hear someone call this. So if I play that, there's a C, G, A minor, F. And if you recognize it, it's what we did from the previous exercise. It's actually used in something called the 4-chord song. If you put the 4-chord song, key of C, you'll have lots of things come up, because many songs have used that chord progression. So yeah, so learning the 1, 5, 6, 4, which is what we've done, is a very, very, very good one. So the next one here, we've got a 1, 4, 6, 5. So just slightly different order. I'll go down lower, F, A minor, and then a G. And that's the other thing, you know, your pitch, you can go up and up and up with the chords, or down and up, down, mix it up as much as you want. Going up and down doesn't make a difference where you play. So if I go with a middle C chord and decide to go up to F, it has a lift, or I can go down to the F chord lower. It really doesn't matter. It's about preference and whatever the song does that you're playing. Then look at the next one here. We've got our first free eyes. So this is an E minor here. So we've got our 1, 3, 4, 5 progression. So C, E minor, F. I'm just climbing up, G. And that's a very popular chord progression as well. We'll look at the next one here. So here we're looking at I-I-V, which is 1, 4, 1, 5. So we've got a repetition going back to the root. 1, I'll go lower, F, back to the 1, back to the G. That's a really good one. You hear that one in quite a bit of pop music and reggae. I hear this one quite a lot in those styles. And then the last one here, we've got a 1, 4, 2, 5. So C, F, D minor, G. C, F, D minor, G. So we've got C one more time. C, go down lower, F, D minor, and then a G. Sounds good. Okay, so you've got a few different chord progressions there to work on and play together. And the idea is if you're up to the point where you memorize all the chords and you're feeling comfortable with the shapes, you can mix it up and make your own things up. But these are some of the most common ones, and learning those Roman numerals or being familiar to it means that when you do come across other videos that have it, or books or whatever, it will make a lot more sense. And when we start learning other keys, we can apply the same method, and everything has a pattern. So if you learn the pattern, you learn the methods, that when you shift into these other keys, it isn't so daunting, it isn't so scary, because it's just shifting up and down. Okay, good luck with that, and I'll see you soon.